Thanks, Kim. Appreciate you, man. America's the greatest country in the world. Yes. Wow, this is being recorded. This is serious. I wish I could read the handwriting on my notes, because I have no idea what I'm going to... I did have an idea, but now I have no idea. Listen, it is so wonderful to be here amongst friends, and it is so wonderful to be in a city where Bob Filner is not the mayor. I left, I was driving along and I said, something's different. Something's different. Oh, I'm out of city limits. Thank goodness. I'm here for a couple reasons. First, I have to apologize. I turned the camera off for 1 second. I don't want this being recorded. As I walked to the polling center, he put me in a headlock. I had no choice. No, camera back on. That joke goes to my boss, so don't blame me for that one whatsoever. No, but really, I am here to apologize. I did not vote for Bob Filner, please, just for the record. Good Lord. I am here to apologize, though, because we've been talking about Bob Filner every day for 3 hours a day for 7 weeks. And I am under complete understanding that this is making especially people in North County absolutely miserable, and I'm really sorry. I know, I want to. I don't want to listen to the show sometimes, right? Like that's, so I apologize for that. What we've been trying to do, and I hope this has come across, is to talk about some broader lessons as well that this has exposed, right? So we talk about the difference between reputation and character, and the importance of, or the difference between doing things for yourself versus doing things for other people. But that's what your legacy is. We talked about how poor decisions silence leadership. We've talked about how your character, to quote Irene McCormick Jackson, can make a mockery of your ideas. So how important it is that we have strong moral character, not just stand for. We have to live up to our wonderful values. Otherwise, the values mean nothing. And it's just been a good situation to remind ourselves how to properly treat women, right? So lessons like that have been important, and so hopefully they've made it relevant for you up in North County. No? Maybe? We've been trying. We're going to get this guy out of there soon, so don't worry. It's okay. My job here is I'm an encourager. You guys are doers, and I'm an encourager. So for 10 minutes here, I just want to encourage you. A couple things that I've learned or have been confirmed these last few weeks. First is the influence that you truly have on people, and the potential of you and wonderful groups like this. I think the force. You guys all heard of peer pressure, right? I think peer awareness is so powerful. And I don't think we all do it enough. I know I don't. I guess empathy is sort of the word for it, but we don't know what's important to other people. We don't know what's on their mind because we don't have signs around us that say, this is what's going on in my life, this is what I'm thinking, this is what's important to me. If we did, I think it would be a completely different world. It would be a completely different world. And I think what really brought that to life was these signs that Glenn Beck and came up with, right? And we've been asking people to put up in their businesses that say, we believe it's important to have standards. You guys know the signs I'm talking about? Yep. We believe it's important to have standards. We believe it's important to respect women. Bob Filner is not welcome inside this establishment. The first business to put that up was up in Escondido, actually. Animal Urgent Care, Karen, up in Escondido, was the first person in the entire county to put that sign up, and it just went gangbusters from there, and then ultimately ended up in Hooters. But forget the poetic irony of that part of the story. That was just goofiness. But what that showed, and I think why that was so powerful and why so many other businesses jumped on board with that, is because customers would walk into Karen's vet clinic and see the sign that says, standards are important, we believe in respecting women. A very simple statement. And people said, you know what? I thought I was the only one who thought that. You know, like I thought that was just important to me, but it's also important to this business and the people here. And I think if we can simulate that, I know I'm not suggesting we all wear signs around our necks about what's important to us, but if we can simulate that through discussion, I think that's an incredibly powerful force that we don't take advantage of fully. Just the idea that we need to make sure other people know that they're not alone with what they believe because you believe it too. Does that make sense? Yep. So peer awareness has just been a really fascinating idea. And I say that knowing that Neil over here does have a sign on his shirt saying what's important to him. And that actually ties into my second point here. And if you can't see, it says recall Filner. So that's important to Neil. And that ties into a theme of mine that I've been working on for as long as I've been in radio now, I guess, I don't know, 7 years or something. And just in life. And that is, and maybe I can get an amen if you agree, good people doing good things for the right reasons, God blesses it. That's just, I've seen it time and time again. But it has to be all three. If it's good people doing good things for the wrong reasons, no good. If it's bad people doing good things for the right reason, no, like all three have to be there. And if I can just be honest here, I've done things in the beginning of my radio career where I've done it for me. Right? I want to put on this event so it can glorify me, or because I'll be a hot shot and I'll make the news and it'll be great. Total awful, like terrible. It was a total disaster of an event. But every time, it was something that was organic and from the heart. God knows that. And I think he just lifted everyone up involved with it and just blessed it, and it was always a wonderful thing. I think, again, and this is my last Filner point, I think that's what this recall effort down in the city has been about. And Neil is a good example of that. I think this whole effort has been good people doing good things for the right reason. Your heart is everything. And I know everyone in this room has their heart in the right place. And that's why, when I first spoke here 2 years ago, it was half the size, maybe less than that, right? It's because everyone in here is in it for the right reason. And just some amazing stories of what happened on Monday with our recall effort. If anyone heard it, we had about 30 or 40 volunteers in different parts of the city, and we had a map online so people could find out where the closest signature collector was and go sign their name. And Neil was at the county administration building, and I love this story. Neil had room for 100 signatures, right? So he had enough for 100. And the goal was 50, so he was ready for 100, and it was like 10 o'clock. It was an hour into the event, and he was already at 80. So he sent me an email and said, "Emergency nearing." And I'm like, oh no, what's going on? He said, "Slater, I'm about to run out of signature forms. Can you ask someone to bring me some?" So I said in my head, "Neil, that's crazy. No one's going to bring you any forms." But I said, all right, we'll give it a shot. So on the air, I said, "Hey, Neil's at the county administration building downtown, 1600 Pacific Highway. If anyone lives downtown, works downtown, wants to stop what you're doing, go online, print out some forms, tell your boss you'll be back in a half an hour, drive to see this guy, give him some pieces of paper, and then drive back, go for it." 4 people! 4 people stopped what they were doing to go help Neil out. Why? Because everyone could sense that everyone that was involved with this were good people doing a good thing for the right reasons. And when that happens, good things happen. And that's it. No more Filner for the rest of the time, I promise. Yay! Until 9 a.m. We got to do 3 more hours. Sorry, buddy. That's what we got to do. This is my last point. How much time do I have remaining? Okay, good. Okay, this is a selfish thing I'm going to do right now, but we're all friends here, so I need your help with this. I've told this story once before. I said it once on the radio, and radio is kind of tough because I'm talking to myself, right? So it's like I'm giving a speech like this, and it's hard because I get done with a segment and I'm like, did that work? Is anyone listening? Sometimes when we give prizes away, I do it just to see if anyone's listening. It's a really weird experience, radio is, and people are, or people really like to go to the turf club. I don't know. So I told this story once before. I'm actually next weekend. I'm going to San Antonio to speak to the San Antonio Tea Party, which is pretty cool. I'm really excited for that. It's a wonderful group just like this, and I'm just excited to join forces, and just spread the same message and make sure that they know that they're sane people in California, and we're fighting the same cause they're fighting, and California's not a lost cause. everything else, everything except everything except San Diego County is a lost cause. But we're not, and we're good people and all that. So I'm really excited to go spread that message on behalf of you. But I want to tell this story. And again, I told it once on the radio. I don't know if it worked. And I want to tell it in San Antonio, but I don't know if it's going to work, and I don't want to fall flat on my face because it's a long flight, and I don't want to blow it. So can I maybe tell this story, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, you can throw pizza at me, and I'll think of something else to say. Did anyone hear me tell the story about busting rocks?
Yes.
Okay. Okay? Should I try it?
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right, we're doing it.
Waste of life.
It changed your life. That's a big sell. I don't know if it'll be that good. So, hundreds of years ago, I didn't see you there. Hundreds of years ago, there was a traveler who was traveling across the something to try to find a new trade route. I'll fill in the details next time I tell the story. And he came across the top of a hill and he saw a village way off in the distance. And the village there's like a cloud of smoke around it, which was weird, but he decided to go a little bit closer. And the closer he got to this village, it started to get dustier and cloudier and louder, and there's just a lot of commotion. So he turns the corner of this village, and he just sees hundreds of laborers working. As far as the eye can see, there's just smoke everywhere from what they're doing. So he goes up to one of the laborers and says, "Excuse me, sir, I'm not from this village. What are you doing here?" And he said, "Can't you see? I'm busting rocks." And he's taking this sledgehammer and just slamming down on these rocks. And he's like, "Okay, that's weird." So he goes to another person who's doing the same thing. He says, "Sir, excuse me, I'm not from this village. Can you tell me what you're doing here exactly?" And the guy says, "Well, can't you see? I'm busting rocks." He's like, "Okay." So he goes to the third person, a third laborer of the hundreds, and says, "Excuse me, sir, I'm not from this village. What exactly are you doing here?" And the guy says, "Can't you see? We're building a cathedral." And I just think that there are two types of, I see a couple furrowed brows. So let me explain. Back in the day, it took hundreds of years to build a cathedral. Hundreds. So the people who started building the cathedral spent all day busting rocks, knowing that they would never see the completion of it. Their kids would probably never see it, their great-grandkids, no one would see the completion of this cathedral. But some people just saw it as busting rocks. Some people understood the longer and further vision of what they were really doing. I think America is that cathedral.
Yes.
And I think there's two types of people. And I want to ask you which type of person you are. If I were to say, "John, I'm going to build a building. It's going to be the biggest, most majestic, magical, unbelievable, inspirational building of all time. It's going to inspire people around the world for all time. I need you to grab this hammer, John, and I want you to bust rocks for your entire life. You're never going to see the end of it. You'll never see this cathedral. You won't even see it 10% done. And then when you die, your kids are going to pick up that hammer and they're going to do the same thing, and they're never going to see the completion of it." I think there's two types of people. Someone that says, "What are you, nuts?" And someone that says, "When can I start?" I think our founding fathers, what makes them so important and impressive is that they understood what they were doing. They understood how important this country was going to be, not just to them, but for ages and people of all times. In particular, not for them. They were under no illusion. They had no expectation that they would see the fruition of what they were doing. But they knew that they were building a cathedral. And the cathedral's still under construction. And it's up to us to decide if we're going to keep building it or if we're just going to tear it down, which just seems like maybe what's happening a little bit in America today, right? And I think that's what this group is so important for, because this group, I think, understands the long-term importance of what we're doing. I was back there charging up my cell phone, and someone just walked up and was talking to one of the wonderful women in the back, the welcome group, and said, "What are you guys doing here? Like, what is this?" And I guess there's two answers. You can say, well, it's a political meeting, or we're rebuilding a country. What do you think? Yeah. Was that good? Yeah. Bring it to San Antonio? Yeah. All right, I'll do it. That's honest. That's an honest yes? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. And everyone gets it? Did I tell it all right? All right, good. I just think that's really powerful. And really, I truly believe there's two types of people, those who get it and those who just don't. So when I talk about peer awareness and talk about the importance of character and spreading the word, which is what I end every segment with, this is the best group of people to possibly do it. You guys are the trendsetters, so get going. Keep up the great work, I should say. 1 minute for my 20? Whoa! One question, not Filner related.
Yes. Any questions? Put it on the, we need to have it on a card so we can read it out loud. So any questions?
Are you going to use the public library downtown as your cathedral?
The public library, don't even get me started. $185 million. It's the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life. It won an award for the most beautiful building of the year, right? Have you seen this library downtown? It's the ugliest thing. It was like a giant mosque. It's hideous. It won an award for the most beautiful building in the country this year. And I was like, hold on. Who gave them that award?
The Braille Institute.
That got some ooze. I'm not even going to follow up with the real answer, because that's pretty good. No, actually, the winner was, the person who gave that award was the National Concrete Construction Foundation of America. No joke. Oh, good one. Have you talked about Common Core on your show? My understanding is yesterday, I couldn't make it, there was a Common Core gathering awareness down in the city for people, and I couldn't make it. I hate that. But the answer is yes and no. So I've been super blessed to have a really, really, like a dream come true relationship with Glenn Beck. So I've been working with his people to try to figure, hey, yeah, give it to Glenn! And Glenn's obviously leading the charge on that effort. Last time I was in Dallas, actually, when he was really talking about it a lot, and showed the video of the woman saying, "Oh, 4 times 2. If the person says it's 9, no big deal." Like, what? So the answer is yes and no, but there's plenty more to talk about, and we're working with his team to try to make it really specific to help parents as much as possible. I hope that's an okay answer. So we will do better. Next time you see me, I'll have a much thorough answer of what we're doing. And then a comment about a cathedral in Barcelona.
I was just going to say that the Gaudi Cathedral in Barcelona is an example of
hundreds of years, right? Yep. Exactly.
Good question, sir.
Yeah. You're a young man. Where do you get your insight? I make it all up. You know what? Actually, Glenn Beck was the last person to ask me that question, and I had no proper answer whatsoever for him. I don't know. The Bible, for one, and that's like 1 through 10. The truth is 11, and my dad is number 12. My dad passed away about 6 weeks ago from a stroke. It was super sudden, but I didn't want to get everyone in a downer mood. I'm sorry. Everyone's in a really good place and all that, but he taught me everything, and I'm so excited because, let me put you in a happy mood, I'm getting married in 3 weeks. And I'm going to be wearing my dad's wedding band. See, that way to turn that back around, right? So my dad is I guess, the ultimate answer on this earth. Do you have any speeches for teens, and where? I love speaking at schools. I love it. So if anyone has a school that their kid goes to, or grandkids, or whoever, and they want me to speak at it, like, yeah, let's do it.
Awesome.
Yeah. I mean, it's great and it's all good. So, guys, thank you so much. Someone asked me earlier, has your show time moved? Because I tune in now and you're not there. Yes, it has.
Gary, good stuff.
9. The show's now on from 9 to noon, and I'm sorry. If it was a part of your morning, like, I really hate it. I really don't like disappointing you or not being available or whatever. I know, and you guys have been so sweet to offer to like do a campaign drive and everything to get me back to 6. And maybe the time will come for that, but right now I'm just so super blessed to have a job here at all and to be in a position where I can still be here and talk to you. And we're doing really, really great stuff at 9 to noon, I hope. So, and my fiance likes it a lot more because I don't have to go to bed at 8 o'clock. And I'm now training for an Ironman, so I can work out in the morning and still do so. So I have a little more of a life. So selfishly, I enjoy it, but hopefully you're able to join us from 9 to noon as well.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much. Thanks, guys.